All right, just double checked. Government's still shut down. I had to double check that.
Maybe a vote today, Brother Chad.
Yeah. Has anybody got any internal polling that says, hey, you guys are sucking more than the other side?
Haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I don't really see any of the. And everybody's blaming everybody. It's the Schumer shutdown. No, it's the Democrats that are doing it. It's this, it's that. Everybody's blaming everybody else. How about just do your job? It's not that hard. Show up, do your job, pass some bills.
Now you're just being unreasonable.
I know. That was silly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, You're right. You're right. Don't do your job. It is so frustrating. And they're fighting over. Look, if I'm the Democrats, said it last week, Trump wants this. He wants to get rid of all the subsidies. He wants to get rid of all of these things. Great. Get rid of them all. It's either going to work or it's not. And if you're able to keep them, chances are those people that keep their health insurance aren't going to vote against it. Well, we could hurt people. No, and if it works, then you're screwed. So it doesn't really matter. And by the way, neither of you at this point really deserve a lot. We need a strong third party, baby. Strong third party. By the way, so I have found out more about Mark Sanchez. My buddy sent me some stuff because he's out there in Indy. By the way, I walked by a couple of years ago when the Super Bowl was in Phoenix. We had to go downtown and get our media passes because we were going to be on the floor, broadcasting for the whole week. So I was walking back after getting mine, and he and Brady Quinn walked by me. They're ginormous. Like, Mark's like 240, and he's about 6'2", 6'3". So he apparently was staggering around in like an alleyway, ran into this guy. The guy didn't have his hearing aids in, so he let Mark come closer. And he said the dude he could tell he'd smelled of you guys know Mark Sanchez's famous jet for the butt fumble. He smelled of alcohol, and he said out of nowhere, he picks him up and he slams him against the wall and starts beating on him. And the pictures of the guy, he's in a neck brace, but it looks like Mark stabbed him too, because his face is cut almost from his temple down to his mouth.
He's going to be writing a big check before all is said and done.
Yeah.
He may be doing it from behind bars, too.
It is ugly. It is. And remember, we were just talking about being old. This guy's 69. He's not old enough to be dead, but he didn't deserve that from a guy who's in his late 30s.
Yeah, when that gets into court, that is not going to play well with the jury.
No, it is not. Because you're 34 years younger than him, or whatever it is, 30 years younger. I'm not quite sure he is. And you thumped him. It is brutal what you did to him.
It sounds like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So the guy has hearing aids, and he's one of those grease. He goes and he empties all the grease traps. He says, so the machine was loud. He couldn't hear. And he goes, and Mark was already stumbling. When he goes, I didn't have my hearing aids. I went close to him, and I could smell the alcohol even before he got near me. And then it went sideways. Just out of nowhere. He said he attacked him. Like you said, I think he could do some serious, he might do some time on this one. That is a beating, no doubt about that. And what do we always tell you guys? There are cameras everywhere. Know this. There are cameras everywhere.
The Diddy verdict came in after we were off the air last Friday.
He got 4 years. Okay, here's a question for everybody out there. Who gets a pardon first, or who gets their sentence commuted? Ghislaine or Diddy? Because they denied her case today. The Supreme Court did. So
I don't think he can afford to do anything with Ghislaine, because that just makes the whole Epstein thing come back to life.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. And I think Diddy's got to be asking. He's going to be asking questions like, "How do I do? What do I do for diss? How do I do a diss track, Diddy? What do I have to do? Could we do a diss track? Let's talk about it. What kind of diss track do you want me to do? I'll lay down some fat lingo.
I just need you to make a beat for me.
It'll be great. You guys are going to love it. Yeah, that Biggie guy, he's not around, right? His name's free. Let's use some of his name. This Tupac Shaker fellow, I heard he was popular.
Shaker.
Did you see Shakur's mother just died in Cuba as a fugitive?
Yeah, she killed a cop.
I found that out.
Yeah, it was a
when I was reading the
godmom.
article.
So she killed a cop, and people praised her. That was the other thing. If you guys didn't know anything, so she was she was a famous, activist, revolutionary. She killed a cop. She was convicted of it, and she escaped. And then she got to Cuba, and she was treated like a hero there. And so she passed away, and I saw several outlets were like praising her as this revolutionary. But even Democrats were coming out going, yeah, she's not a revolutionary. She's a cop killer.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. People are nuts. Man, people are crazy. Serious. I watch the news and I think, oh, God, stay indoors more. That's it. Even Charlie said that this weekend. So we're out driving around and we got stuck in all this traffic. And I had no idea what's going on. Because you know where the mission is, or the rescue mission?
Yeah.
So it routed us from there. And we had, instead of just doing the quick roundabout and then heading down to Broadway, pushed us all the way down. We went down to all the way to the stadium and had to cut all the way left, go past everything to get back onto, get down to Rosa Parks just to get to the house. Because everything was shut off. There's, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And Charlie said, this is why we don't go outside, Dad. This is why we have fun just being potatoes. Nice.
Raising her well.
That's it. Setting records, baby. Setting records. But I think the chances of him giving Diddy a pass of some sort, whether it's a commutation or I think that's plausible. The Ghislaine thing, I think it's just, although Trump is Trump, man, he'll do whatever he wants.
Dude, if he does that, that video of Diddy kicking that poor girl in the hall, I'm telling you, that will be on every ad leading up to the midterms.
Yeah. But
that would not be a good idea.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't. I mean, either of them's not going to be a good way. But, over the last several weeks, people have been paying attention. Go look at all of the people he's pardoned. He pardoned a couple guys 4 weeks ago, that owed hundreds of millions of dollars in restitution from money they stole from people. And they got pardons. And they don't have to pay the money back. They get full pardons with there is, the whole pardon thing is kind of skeezy. And it all really started with Mark Rich way back in the day with Clinton on the last day. And it's just, since then, it's just been nothing but skis. Oh, but you're right, man. Because you could think about Diddy if it was just the prostitution stuff. Like it or not, let's be real. Trump. But the whole beating her, Cassie, and then dragging her.
Yeah, Cassie Ventura.
It's like we talked about with the football player for Baltimore, right? The guy that Ray Rice?
Ray, I think so,
yes. Yeah, he got a 2-game suspension.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Wright. Ray Lewis was the great linebacker.
Oh, okay, Ray Rice.
Yeah, so he got a 2-game suspension, and nobody saw anything. The video leaked on TMZ of him beating his girlfriend, knocked her unconscious in the elevator, and then dragged her like caveman style by her hair through the parking lot. Dude never played a down of football again.
No, he's done.
Yeah.
I think, Diddy was convicted of prostitution across state lines.
Right.
Yeah. And when the judge was sentencing him, he was talking about his violent acts and, what you did to this woman and what you did to that woman. He wasn't convicted of any of that.
Yeah, he wasn't convicted. And they said it was really weird too, because remember, they showed the video in the trial, but they told them this has nothing to do with the trial. We're just trying to show you this is the kind of person he is and how the power of his money and his fame that he would use, how he was able to shut people up. And he wasn't convicted. He was never on trial for the beating or any of that stuff.
But the judge used that as justification for the sentence.
Yeah.
And that could come back to haunt the prosecution.
That could. I mean, I'm surprised he got 4 years. We were both wrong.
What did I say? 6 to 9 or 5 to 8?
I said 6. So if he probably could get out next year, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it'll probably be 2 years, even with time off for good behavior. And he's already served 14 months, so that's going to go against it.
So 14 months, that takes him down to, so we got 48 months, right? So he's down to 36 months? Yeah, probably another year and a half, maybe 2. But, and this also depends on what if he gets in some sort of, because a lot of times they'll expedite. They'll give you, for every good day of behavior, they'll give you 2 days. So if you don't get any trouble, 1 day may equal 2, and that could ramp it up. But they're already saying they're working behind the scenes trying to get, Trump to, probably talking to the kids, because that's what you do. So, Jeff, let's not forget Ray Lewis killed. So he didn't kill somebody at a strip club. He was accused of killing somebody. So, yeah, Reagan pardoned some people. They all have done it. They've all pardoned people where... So would I be
Reagan
surprised?
Pardon people involved with Iran-Contra?
Yeah, I think they did. Didn't he pardon, what's his name? Oh, God, what was his name?
North?
Yeah.
Did he pardon
Ollie?
Oliver North?
I think he did. Man, we are so skeezy at times, our country. We are. We're like, so we're dealing...
People gave all that crap to Biden for pardoning Hunter at the last minute. It's like... Okay, yeah, I can look at that and go, that's an issue, but it's not the first time it's happened.
No. By the way, I said this and I'll say it again. It's your kid. All right? It's your kid. So I think that Biden, I said this for years, Biden should have pardoned Trump. And it's funny because I was reading an article the other day that Mitt Romney and several people, even prominent Democrats, were telling Biden, you need to pardon Trump and get over this. You need to pardon and move on. Otherwise, this is going to be a nightmare. And the fear is that it was going to become lawfare, which it's kind of become. So, and I would have said this. If I was Trump, I would have pardoned Hunter and them the first thing I would have done inside of my presidency, just to get it over with and move on. Kind of like what Ford did with Nixon. We need to move on. We're done. Let's move on with it. So...
But that's actually pretty much what cost Ford the election, too.
And the fact that he's just crazy.
He was not. He was not.
He was an interesting character. He was an interesting character.
But he made history as the only administration whose vice president and president were never elected.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Because they were going through him fast. They were going through him super. It's like they were going through him as fast as the French are going through another prime minister. Did you see that today?
Or the Russians going through troops?
Yeah. So the prime minister of France, because we joke about this all the time, this is the 5th one in what, a year? He comes out and he says, we've got a coalition government. And then within like 20 minutes, he resigns because everybody's mad at him. It's such good luck there. Oh, my Lord. Good luck. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in Chicago. The chaos, the craziness, Trump and the battle of, National Guard, the over ridiculous way that both sides act. And it's a meme culture now. And that's unfortunate where things aren't getting done the way they should be because of memes. Talk a little bit about that, among other things. You missed the show? Shame. Grab the podcast. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997.
I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero, y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir.
That is Bad Bunny. He speaks Spanish. Portion of this, talking about the great things that they have done. And how excited he is for the Latino and the Latinas, and that they shouldn't be worried and scared, et cetera, et cetera. Goes on. My Spanish isn't as good as it used to be.
De todo, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar. And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show for you tonight.
Why wasn't he saying Latinx?
Because nobody says that, but people in California, Latinx. Do you remember when Gavin Newsom said, I've never used that? And then they played it 1,000 times when he used it. Latinx.
He had it in tweets and everything.
That was just so ridiculous. Latinx. So ridiculous. I'm sure that should piss some of you guys off. I watched a little bit of some of the highlights of Saturday Night Live because, first of all, it's on way too late for me. I don't know about you guys, but 9:30? What happens after 9:30? I have no idea. I don't know. But it is what it was. I mean, it's Saturday Night Live. And he's Bad Bunny. He's going to perform. Everybody get over it. I don't watch it for that. I watch it for the game. I don't even watch you know what's bumming about the commercials now? I don't know if you've done this too. Maybe, Ken, you guys have seen this. The fact is the commercials, they now preview them like a week or two before they come out.
There's nothing special about the commercial by the time you get to the Super Bowl.
No.
You've seen it.
No. And that bums me out. Like, that was part of the fun. So, it is what it is. They had some Trump fun.
I'm just here keeping my eye on SNL, making sure they don't do anything too mean about me. And they better be careful because I know late night TV like the back of my hand.
Like the back of my hand.
Who does Trump?
Oh, I don't know. This guy, I don't even remember seeing him outside of doing Trump.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Yeah. So, and he made fun of the FCC. They're watching you. They played that song while he was out there. It was, that's it. That's all I saw of it. That's all I needed to see. Because I don't watch regular television. If it's not a sporting event, I'm probably not watching it. But it was the Bad Bunny thing because it just angers people. I'm like, this is what you guys need to do. Don't pay attention to it. You give it more fuel.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. I don't know who the guy is. I know he's huge, but I don't know who he is, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if he does play the Super Bowl. Yeah. I just don't care.
Yeah. I watch the game, and then I go get snacks. That's what halftime's for. Yeah. It's 30 minutes. It's 15 minutes to set up, 15 minutes for them to do something, 10 minutes to tear it down. By then, the guys could have showered and gone home because they're in there so long, and I move on.
It's a good bet. I'll fall asleep at halftime.
Yeah, that's what it's for. Take a nap to get excited for the second half. Especially with those Titans and their major comeback. Wait, what? No, I'm just kidding.
Apparently, the fallout between NFL and Taylor Swift was over the fact that she would not give them licensing rights to the performance. Oh, they wanted partial. They wanted ownership of it, and she was like, "No, you ain't getting that."
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't have that. She will never do that again. Especially after, what was that guy's name? Dr. Luke?
No, it's Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun. Dr. Luke is the other guy with
Kesha.
Kesha. Different white chick, same problem. That's all I know. You white chicks. You white chicks. So crazy. The white chicks. Somebody said, you do realize that Trump never censored anyone. FCC. You do realize that was Saturday Night Live. It was a joke. Okay? Just want to point that out. That was a joke. Saturday Night Live. You didn't have to like it. Didn't have to watch. I didn't watch. Normally, I watch only the Weekend Update. Only because I like it when they trade jokes. And Jost has to do a joke that's racist. And Michael Che.
That Che wrote.
Yeah. And then Che has to do a joke that's racist. Or Che does a joke that is horrible about his wife, Scarlett Johansson. Which makes me laugh.
Makes Colin say it.
Yeah. Which makes me laugh. It's a funny thing. All right, coming up. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on in Chicago. The whole thing with this. Here's the thing with Trump. Like everything else, the more you fight it, the more he's going to engage. Right? It's like anything. Don't give it power. If he wants to do this, you know what? Talk about how you're going to resist. But I go back to this, Democrats, and we'll talk about it. This is a you problem that you created. This is a huge problem that you were a part of. And now your states, in particular, your left-leaning states and cities are trying to figure out how to stop this. And they're not doing a good job at it at all. Let's talk a little bit about that, among other things. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. By the way, the Saturday Night Live guy that does Trump is from here, Austin Johnson.
What's his name?
Austin Johnson?
And if in a million years, I would have never been able to tell you his name.
I could have swore, if I'm right, I think he might have been a comic, but I think the big claim to fame is that he did Trump online a whole bunch. Like he would it's me, it's Trump, and he would do that. And I think that may be how they got him. Because I can't even remember ever seeing him in anything else. And by the way, what's his name? Colin Jost did do something besides just the update, the weekend update. He played Pete Hegseth.
Oh, that's funny.
Which was funny. I forgot about that.
You probably went into work that week. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't in my contract.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do anything. Che and I are supposed to hang out, and then Wednesday start writing some funny jokes about mindless, stupid stuff. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Tomorrow is the primary. We were going over earlier. We have about 30,000 votes in so far, according to Ken and his math.
That was according to the Secretary of State's website.
That's your math. Dude, take credit for your math, dude. I'm trying to help you out.
No, because I don't want to set that precedent.
Yeah, it's probably wrong.
It might come back on me.
And then the other, 14,000 for the Democrats. Right around there.
Yeah, 15,000 Republican ballots cast, 14,000 Democrat, roughly.
So there you go. Who's going to win? I don't know. I mean, when I was talking to Chris earlier, he said that Jody had a lead in the mail-in, in the early voting or whatever it was. I have no idea. Tomorrow, this is all about turnout tomorrow because you've got, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow, Ken? Because that's going to be a big deal.
Going to have some showers. Going to be a chance for some rain. Oh, better look out. I hope they treat the roads.
Ooh, it's not that cold. Although I was telling Ken, I'm flipping around, watching football. There's the Montana or Wyoming, the Cowboys were playing or somebody, and it was, and I'm like, is that snow on the ground already in October?
Absolutely.
Already, snow in Wyoming. And we're gonna have a winter. I have a feeling.
No, we're not.
No,
I'm just gonna wish it away.
Wish it away
into the cornfield like that little fella on Twilight Zone. So here we go. Tuesday, voters, 90% chance of showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Most likely between 1 and 2 p.m.
Ooh, that's big voting time. It's about turnout. I was joking. We were off air, Chris and I. It's like, this thing could be settled by 5 people that show up.
That's really not that far from an exaggeration.
No, because it's not going to be a massive turnout. Early voting's done. People are going to go tomorrow, and depending on how I think a lot of people too. Chris made a good point that, did Mega Matt because of the late, and it was kind of late, right, on Friday that he got the endorsement. But did that tell people, he's going to win for sure, so I'm not going to show up?
And how many candidates are left?
4,700.
No, how many for the Republicans?
What do we have? Gino,
Jody, Epps.
Well, now I have to look it up, brother.
What's his name? Dropped out, didn't he?
Lee Reeves dropped out.
Lee Reeves. Yeah, he dropped out.
Okay, you take 15,000 votes and split it between those guys. That's not, and granted, it's not actually going to be equal. Not everybody gets the same amount of votes. But
no.
If you averaged it out, that's not a lot of votes per person.
No. I mean, you may look at somebody who gets by tomorrow on 11,000 votes.
Or less.
Or less. And you got to remember, too, it's like you said, it's not statewide. It's not when everybody else is voting for something. This is a special election. So you've got people that are, it's spring break, not spring break. It's fall break, which we never got when I was a kid. None of us ever got fall break. You know what I got off? I got Thanksgiving and Black Friday off. And then the week before Christmas, the week after Christmas. That was it.
All right, 5 Republicans still in the race.
Okay. 5 Republicans.
Matt Van Epps, Jody Barrett, Gino Bolso, Mason Foley, and Stuart Parks.
Okay. So
just as an average, that's 3,000 votes per person. And I think you're right that it's probably going to come down to Jody and Epps. And if you're looking at those numbers, it literally could come down to just a few thousand votes between them.
Yeah, or a couple hundred. I mean, you never even know how close this thing's going to be. That's why turnout tomorrow is going to be huge. That's what gets it. And then, we're going to vote tomorrow on their commercials. So I'll just let you guys know that. How many votes in the last general election? That's a good one. Ken, is there a machine that could help you with that? Or Bell? The last general election, how many votes? I bet a lot. Probably do mid
20 million of Biden's votes disappeared. So
I bet, they were stolen. Given to the Venezuelans.
Yeah.
They use it as currency.
Food.
Oh, my God. But you think about it. This isn't a statewide thing. This is a local. This is District 7. Mark Green's retiring. It's not a normal midterm. It's going to be, it's a short run-up. And tomorrow, it's not going to be a lot. It isn't. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's under 1,000 votes that separate everybody. And I wouldn't be surprised if lawyers get involved because lawyers are involved in everything. No doubt. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how many votes. But it's going to be close for sure. And Jody has the opportunity, I still think, Van Epps. But it's what you do over the next probably 15 hours that matters. Maybe 20. And if the weather's not great, come on. We're a nation of convenience. Nobody wants to vote from their phone because that's not democracy. But then everybody's like, I wouldn't mind if we could figure out a way. If we could figure out a way to vote for the phone, I wouldn't say no. Oh, Stuart Parks dropped out this morning. Why would you drop out the day before at this point? Unless you've got to deal with whoever is going to help you. You're going to help them by throwing your several hundred votes behind them. And that matters in this. That matters in this situation. So we're going to find out. It'll be interesting. Chicago, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. They've had some issues.
She says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher said she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? And I told them no, I didn't.
She said she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released.
And the battle of what really happened. Were the kids zip-tied? Were they not? Were they partially naked? Were they not? Was there Blackhawks? There were. Why are people rappelling down a building? This is serious. These are real questions to ask. And I've got no question. I would ask these questions. Was this a bit of an overkill? The building's right there. Do you need to repel? Now, if you're looking for a super killer, okay. I can. Let's talk about it. But does it? And we've talked about this a gazillion times here. The reality is, Democrats, you did this to yourself by allowing 12 plus million people to wander through like it was Disneyland into our country. You made up bizarre things where everybody could apply for asylum. You've got NGOs handing out, this is what you do when you get to the border. These are the things you say here. Then you started giving up apps and all these kind of stuff. And then lo and behold, everybody's like, whoa, this is too much. We need to get rid of some people. Some people aren't here for real. They're not here because of political asylum. They're here for economic opportunity. We need to send some of these people back. We don't even know who some of these people are. And then what happened? Well, people got to see how the sausage was made. And people were not thrilled by that.
Cincinnati video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents. Neighbors like Ebony Watson says they ducked for cover as they heard several flashbangs go off.
They was terrified. The kids was crying. People was screaming. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner. Because they was bringing the kids out too. Had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human?
Where's humanity? Not the human. They're humans. Yeah, it's fair to ask questions. Like, I am a person who I'm all about let's fix this nightmare of immigration. And we need to do it in a way that's smart. We also need to get bad people out of here. And I look at, Think about this for a second, how bizarre that this is when you really think about this. We have law enforcement agencies that will not work with one another based on some sort of bizarre resistance to what they deem as evil. So you could have a person in custody at the state level, the city, whatever it is, who is wanted by ICE, who is in many cases already been ordered to be removed, sometimes a few times ordered to be removed, and you're going to go, we're not going to work with them. And you're like, why aren't you going to work with them? Because we're not going to work with them. Because they're what? This is their job. ICE didn't come around with Trump, by the way. This was not Trump. Trump didn't come in, become president, and then he's like, all right, we're going to have ICE. We're going to have these guys, and we're going to dress them up like it's the movie The Purge. And we're going to send them out there to, no, they've been around a while. They were around for Obama. They were around for Trump. They were around for Biden. It just wasn't the politics that this has become, which is frustrating for all of us because we all want to see bad dudes out of here. But if you're not willing to work with ICE, what do you expect them to do? Go, sorry, they said we can't come here and work. They're not willing to hand over the bad person because they've got to do some sort of resistance. And because of that, well, we're just going to be on our way. That isn't going to happen. It isn't. Then you've got people like Mayor Brandon Johnson, who's useless.
The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Wow, he's just useless.
Can they do that?
No, they can. They can say all the things they want to say, but it's all, again, Ken, it goes back to, you really don't, it's like telling people you can't wear the mask.
So what I would like to see, and of course with nobody getting hurt, I would like to see where the Chicago Police Department would actually enforce that against immigration agents.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. Just like California, when they asked them about, are you going to, after they passed their you can't wear a face mask thing, are you going to enforce that? And the cops are like, no.
Right.
No.
Right.
That's not our jurisdiction.
I mean, does he understand what he's asking Chicago PD to do?
Yes, he does. And Chicago PD is not going to do it because, again, that's not their jurisdiction. They don't even know. Chicago PD doesn't even know where they're at for the most part. That's not they're not being told that because that's, they're not telling them if they're raiding a drug house. They're not going to tell these guys what's going on if they're ICE and they're going to go somewhere. The issue, though, goes back to this. Why do you not allow people that are in your custody to be turned over to ICE when they have orders to be removed, when all I hear is due process, due process? They've had due process. In many cases, they've been due processed almost to death, and you still won't do it. And then you pass these silly things where you get people clapping, but it has no teeth. No teeth. You're not interested in the solution. And so what happens? If you can't get the bad guys, they're going to go look elsewhere. Coming up. Who knows what else we'll talk about today? A lot of stuff going on. A lot of people still chiming in. Person chimed in earlier, Ken, said, broke their ankles at the bounce house. We were talking about people that hurt themselves as they get a bit older.
Oh, trampolines.
I went to a trampoline park about 2 months ago. I will tell you my story. It is, let's just say, don't. I don't care what kind of socks they give you. Don't do it. Okay? Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 98.7. Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the police chief there in Chicago is saying, it's okay to protest.
Yes.
But don't box these guys in.
No. I mean,
they don't, they're not taking that lightly.
It is.
Especially after all that's gone down here in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you forget that point, too, where you've had the shooting at the ICE facility.
Yes, sir.
In Dallas. You've had the threats nonstop, which is real. You've had a lot of stuff that has happened that, as you know, it's got everybody kind of on awareness mode, and you think that you're going to drive your car, box them in, and that somehow they're going to let that go. And the fraternal order of the Chicago Police Force, whatever the union stuff's called, came out and said the fact that somebody told them no this weekend when it came to the riots and stuff that were going on, when they called to ask for police help with all of the stuff, and they said, no, we're not going to send anybody, they got blasted for it. Because, no, it's a cop. You may not like that they're ICE, or they may be telling you, one of these politicians telling you how to do something. That's still a police officer that needs help. And if you're going to go box them in, well, you're going to screw around. You're going to see what happens.
Yes, sir.
That lady got shot.
Yeah.
Right? And they took another guy in custody, and she said she hit him. What are you doing?
Goodness.
What are you doing?
The M16 is not for show.
It is amazing.
It's real.
The stupid is strong. The stupid is absolutely. I feel like it's getting stronger every day with people. And your attitude towards, well, we're going to go get these people and we're going to show. You're not going to show them. Guess who's got the biggest gang? The government, with the best toys.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that either. And the best. Let's not forget this. Not only have the best toys, they have the best representation when it comes to law. So it's a really lose for you. And the thought that, the cops have to come out and go, hey, look, maybe don't box them in. Maybe don't throw things at them. Maybe don't attack them. If you want to chant funny things, if you want to hold up, all kinds of signs, all right, go ahead, knock yourself out. That's the beauty of America. But you start throwing stuff, you start boxing them in, you start trying to hit them with cars, they're going to take their gloves off, and their punches land way different. And you've got, Brandon Johnson, who's just an idiot. Where do they find these people? Is nobody normal run for any office in any of these places? Honest to God. There's nobody who's got a common sense. Lori Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson, they're the worst. We sit here and make fun of old Freddie, but trust me, comparatively to that, I'll tell you what. Coming up, hour number 3, who knows what we'll talk about. It'll be fun, I promise you that. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.